We're back. This is the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. That's not my jazz. That is the minister himself playing his violin. And many of us have seen what a virtuoso he really is. And Minister, did you recognize that? Minister,
yes. Yes, sir, I did.
Yes, you did. Minister Louis Farrakhan is our in-studio guest. And, of course, we're streaming live at www.wvon.com. And you can not only get the audio, but the video. You can see him right now, streaming live, all right? We are going to go right back to the calls. And, again, thank you so much for being here, Brother Minister. And our next caller who's been holding is Japhet. How are you? You're on the Talk of Chicago.
How you doing, Cliff?
Fine.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Minister.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Yes, Farrakhan, I saw you at the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March in Mosque Mariam a couple of months ago when you were there that Sunday in the Mosque Mariam. I enjoyed your sermon. I remembered everything you said. I kept it in my memory, and I wrote it down. And I really enjoyed what you had to say at the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March at Mosque Mariam that Sunday.
Thank you.
Did you have a question, sir? Or
yes,
comment?
Minister, I'm trying my best to go on this crusade to save the young people who are doing the gang violence and the killing. I'm talking to some of the youngsters in my neighborhood, the Shore area, trying to get them to look, hey, man, you don't just kill your own race. You're going to knock your own stuff up. You young people are our future. You know, we ain't going to have no future if you keep knocking each other up with the silly gang violence. Y'all got to learn to come together as one. Like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, come together with unity, brother. Stop the gang violence and the nonsense and the violence. We got to stop that. So I try to communicate with them on their level. And,
well, let's let him respond to that, because the minister has certainly done a lot on that, and we certainly appreciate your call, sir.
Our children are victims of a terrible conspiracy. You know, in the Bible, when Pharaoh saw the multiplication of the numbers of the children of Israel, he said, "Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and join on to an enemy of ours and come against us." So the conspiracy was to kill all the male children and spare the females. Right now, if you look at the black community, it is black men dying in unprecedented numbers. When you look at the college campuses of America, you find black women predominant, black men less. Black men filling the prisons, black men sick with AIDS, black women the number one carrier, according to what they say, of the AIDS virus. There's a conspiracy to destroy us. And when we see a people being marginalized, the next stage of that marginalization is their extinction. What better way to do it than to bring guns into our community, drugs into our community, and AIDS into our community, and exploit our sex drive, because there's very little pleasure that we can get that is true pleasure from seeing an idea in our mind come to fruition and reality. So black people having not the real sense of pleasure, not knowing that brothers living together in peace is pleasurable. So we get pleasure from our organs of sex, and we get pleasure from the fighting and putting down one brother against another. So the guns, the drugs, the violence, the gangs are all a part of a great conspiracy. What you tell the young people is true, but we have to go deeper. We not only have to teach our young people, but we have to give them a sense of their greatness. They are the greatest generation that we have ever produced. They're fearless. They're born warriors. They are not like their parents or grandparents. They're very, very different. And the enemy knows this. So he calculates separating the youth from the wisdom of age and experience. And then he poisons the youth. Think about this. You have one sign and I have another. Does that make you different from I or from me? We came over on slave ships and there are no gang signs then. Our bond was our blackness. We were different tribes, maybe speaking different languages, but the enemy had a purpose for us, and that was to make us slaves. Here we are today, 150 some odd years up from slavery, and we are killing each other or doing to each other things that we never did in the darkest days of slavery. This is not an accident, but when we understand it, we can deal with it. And I say this in conclusion of that, I wish that my black brothers and sisters would help Brother Farrakhan to get out of prison. I'm not in a prison of steel bars. I'm in a prison of public opinion manipulated by the media and their hatred of the truth that is in my mouth that would set our people free. Help me to get out of prison. And I say to Ed Gardner, my dear, dear brother, and I say to Spencer Leak, my dear, dear brother, I know Ed Gardner is a good man, a great man, who for years put money behind black on black love, not a slogan, but he worked to see us love each other. I know Spencer Leak, and I know he's a good man, and I know he sees the bodies of young black men filling up his mortuaries to the point where he is exasperated, and Ed Gardner is exasperated, and they have made a call for the National Guard because it looks like nothing and no one can stop our violence against each other. I respectfully say that the National Guard is not here to serve or protect. The National Guard will come in to create order, and order for them is the killing of our young people. I say, get me out of prison. And stop looking at the Nation of Islam as though we are some enemy to black people. Open the door of the schools and let us go in and teach. We don't have to teach religion, just teach truth. And these young people will rise up. They'll be disciplined. They'll see their future. And then the condition in our community will change. We do not need the National Guard. We need the presence of God in our nation and in those who represent the nation. Let us do the job. In fact, the Nation of Islam has decided to take the worst area in Chicago with the help of others, coming up with a comprehensive plan, hold the National Guard off, give us a chance to work, and we'll prove to you that our people are not as bad as they look or as bad as they act. They are the product of ignorance and the manipulation of smart, crooked deceivers.
Well stated. Thank you for your call, sir, and thank you for your answer, Brother Minister. I'm Cliff Kelly. This is The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
More intelligent conversation.